Hi, Brian. How you doing today?
Fantastic, Jameis. Great to be here.
It's good to be with you again. So maybe for those who haven't met you yet, would you mind giving a couple of words about who you are and your role and what you do?
I'm Brian Walker. I'm Chief Strategy Officer at Bloomreach, longtime e-commerce and digital marketing community member. I've played lots of different roles in the market. I won't bore everyone with my CV, but now Chief Strategy Officer here at Bloomreach. A little bit about us. We're the world's number one commerce experience solution provider. We provide a range of different solutions, including industry-leading product discovery solutions, content solutions, and marketing engagement solutions, all API first, and all driven by AI to drive personalization and optimization. We serve about 850 enterprise customers around the world, including the likes of Staples, FC Bayern Munich, Boohoo, a number of different clients. And now we impact over 400 billion in commerce globally annually. So a lot of people may not realize the scale that Bloomreach is already operating at.
That's fantastic. It's incredible reach. One of the things I was thinking about as we were getting ready for this is, we go back a long way. And one of the things that I've always known in our history is just how you always have an eye toward what's coming in the future of commerce. And certainly we've been through a very interesting period of time here for all of us digitally and in the world at large. And we're curious, as you look down the track a bit, what do you see coming at us in the world of digital?
Actually, just got some kind of fresh data back from some industry research that we're participating in, which I think is really kind of relevant to that question. First and foremost, I think a lot of people have kind of been wondering, what kind of growth rates we might anticipate now that we're hopefully, post-pandemic. We'll see, obviously, what Mother Nature has in store for us there, but as we looked and tried to get a gauge on that, we asked e-commerce leaders what they're anticipating in 2022. And it's interesting, a majority, 55%, are expecting still north of 20% growth in their digital business in 2022. And when we reflect on the fact that overall retail is growing 3 to 4%, we see that e-commerce just continues, right, to take market share. Mm-hmm. And in fact, in the US, e-commerce is going to have its first $1 trillion year in 2022, most likely, right? So that's one, I think, kind of interesting point just in terms of the growth rate. But a couple of other things really jumped out in the research. Many e-commerce leaders are really struggling with the rising customer acquisition costs, as well as having to respond to all the changes around customer data privacy and protection and the changes that Apple, of course, introduced last year and so forth. That's really had a dramatic impact on kind of a business model that many were using pre-pandemic and well into the pandemic, really focusing on paid search and customer acquisition to really drive their digital engine, so to speak. And now we see a very strong pivot towards what we would call retention marketing and customer loyalty and driving repurchase rates. And that leads to a number of different investments. And so kind of at the top of the priority list is indeed a renewed focus on personalization, with about 65% of respondents kind of putting that kind of at the top of the list, what they need to focus on. In addition to, direct marketing, engaging with customers directly through email, through SMS, through social media as well. And then a renewed interest in loyalty solutions as well, kind of connected to that. And of course, rooted in that is having a strong handle on your customer data and so forth. There's certainly some interest in understanding, what does this metaverse thing mean for e-commerce? But really, I think for most e-business leaders, that's still very low on the priority list. From an ROI perspective, and they probably look to those kinds of things more from a brand marketing or PR standpoint. So it is interesting as we head into the new year to kind of see, strong growth rates continue, but kind of a focus on experience and the direct relationship you have with the customer, and really, in a sense, driving a more sustainable business model as a result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's certainly been a year of change. It's good to hear that the fundamentals are back. The fundamentals of back. The fundamentals of staying close to the customer are back. And of course, as everyone we speak with too is really adapting for change and preparing for themselves as we go on this next growth run to be ready for what it's going to throw at us. So, well, thank you as always. We'll revisit this in a year and take a look at the predictions. It's great to hear about the data. And thank you very much for coming on and sharing your thoughts.
Jameis, we go back a ways, as evidenced by our gray beards. Always great to connect. Be well.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, Brian.